I'd like to make a motion to bring the May 16th, 2019 School District Board meeting to order. Please rise and salute the flag for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry we're running a little late, guys. Apologize. Ms. Secretary, can we get a roll call for attendance?
Mr. Adamson? Mr. Parolo?
Here.
Mr. Poliafico?
Here.
Mr. Ciccoletti?
No, here.
Ms. Paglione? Here. Mr. Rusin?
Here.
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Here.
And Mr. DeMarcus.
Here. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, with one additional item under personnel, which would be item G.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Mr. Ciccoletti?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Reports and presentations. Dr. Schaefer?
Yes, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to thank Joanne Parati for her amazing support and work in completing the district's comprehensive plan. I could not have done this without Joanne and her amazing work. I would also like to thank the AOC and all those individuals who contributed their time and knowledge in making this plan a true community project. I believe this plan will serve as a blueprint for Dr. Minetti and the community as they move forward in making the Bristol Borough School District an even better place for our students' education. Joanne, thank you so very, very, very much.
Good evening, and I appreciate being invited here this evening to show you the comprehensive plan for the Bristol Borough School District. It has been a tremendous amount of work, as Dr. Schaefer said, for this past year. It's a requirement by the Department of Education to have a comprehensive plan every 3 years. So tonight I'll be presenting to you the work that was done by the community stakeholders here in Bristol Borough, along with your wonderful superintendent and his leadership team. After the presentation this evening, within the next few days, the plan as a requirement for the Department of Education will be on display on the Bristol Borough School District website for 28 days for public review. And then on June 20th, at your next school board meeting, it is our hope that you will approve the plan and we will submit it to the Department of Ed. So what I'd like to do tonight is give you that 30,000-foot view. I have a PowerPoint presentation to give you an overview and some of the components of the plan that we developed. So when we started out developing this strategic plan, we reflected on the mission statement of the Bristol Borough School District. And this is not a generic mission statement. This is true to the Bristol Borough School District community. The Bristol Borough School District empowers all students to achieve excellence and become leaders in a global society through an educational system immersed in the fabric of a unique and diverse community, woven in history, focused on the future. So that embodies what the Bristol Borough School District is all about. We started out the process thinking about all those dreams and visions and ideas that we have for the Bristol Borough School District, and now we've turned our comprehensive plan into operational and action plans. The Department of Education requires school districts to do certain pieces of the comprehensive plan in a web tool on their website, and that's what I've been working with the district on in addition to some other pieces. So we look at the mission, our values and beliefs, the educational community that makes up Bristol Borough, and then we had a district level planning team that I'll talk about in a few minutes. The other pieces of the plan that I work with Dr. Schaefer and his leadership team, we're looking at our standards, our curriculum, our instruction, our assessment, looking at our safe and supportive schools and what we're doing here in Bristol Borough, the materials and resources that we have for our staff and students, the professional education that we give our staff, and also special education services. So we took all those and we started back in September of 2018 with my initial meetings with Dr. Schaefer and his leadership team. In October, we started doing work in the web tool, needs assessment, do analysis, surveys, looking at the past plan. Then we started October 10th with the first of 3 community conversations. And I'm going to talk about the AOC in a few minutes, and as Dr. Schaefer mentioned in his opening remarks, this was a joint partnership, and this was the most exciting part of putting this plan together, that we really involved the community, and you'll see that in a second. We started out introducing 5 focus areas, and we called this process All Our Children, and we looked at these 5 areas. Our students here in Bristol Borough being challenged, healthy, engaged, safe, and supported. And that first meeting in October involved over 33 people here in the community. Educators, we had school board members, we had the business, we had the community, stakeholders in partnership with the AOC. Then in January, we had our second community conversation, and we had 21 people attend that event. And we kept digging deeper into these 5 focus areas. Then in March, I trained some action team leaders as we kept developing these 5 areas of challenged, healthy, engaged, safe, and supportive. While that was going on, we were working on the special education plan that's required by the Department of Education. Once we completed that, we had it on display for 28 days during the months of March and April. Then on April 11th, we had the third of our 3 community conversations, and again, we had a great outpouring of the community involved in our third and final community conversation. During that time, we had our special education plan approved by the school board. Then on May 1st, I submitted the special education plan to the Department of Education. Then this month of May, we've been developing our action plans. They are now completed and inputted into the PDE, the Department of Education web tool. Tonight, I'm here with you as an informational item for this comprehensive plan. Then we will have it on display for 28 days. June 20th, it will be approved by the school board, and then I will submit it to the Department of Education. So what does all that mean? Well, what that means is that Dr. Schaefer, Mary Giswaldi from our school district, Jean Williams from the Grundy Foundation and the AOC, Allison Angelaccio from the Bucks County Community College and the AOC, and myself, the 5 of us worked as a planning team, developing these community conversations. And this next slide, actually the next 2 slides are so impressive because these are the stakeholders that were involved in the development of the comprehensive plan for the Bristol Borough School District. I'm not going to read all these, but if you just look at this, and I have one more slide, they're in alphabetical order, look at the magnitude of the people that came out and worked with us on this plan. So these were the community involved. And then this was the second slide of all the community that was involved. And so not only did we have the Bristol Borough School District involved, we had our preschools involved, we had our Catholic schools involved, we had various communities, we had the businesses involved. So I, as an external facilitator, feel so proud of this plan because it wasn't one person writing it. It involved over 100 people to put this plan together. So you as school board members should be so proud of the people that came out to help us with this. This is my favorite slide. The main thing is to make the main thing the main thing. And so you can imagine with all the people that came out and talked to us, they had a tremendous amount of ideas. And so we had to take all those ideas and filter them down into some doable plan for the district. So we took those 5 areas challenged, and I'm not going to read what's underneath each of them, but it was having our students be academically challenged and prepared, healthy. And we looked at this in two ways. We looked at the physical health of our students, and we looked at the mental health of our students. And so that was the second area that we looked at. The third area was engaged. How do we get our kids here in Bristol to be engaged and connected to the community? Bristol Borough being only a square mile wide, and the great community support we have here, how do we get our kids involved with the community? The fourth area was safe. How do we have that safe environment, that safety and security for our children? And then the fifth area was supported. How do we have our children get that personalized learning? So they were the five areas that involved all these community stakeholders. We took all this information and we took it and we really synthesized it into three main areas. Academic achievement, which embodies the challenged piece. Community connections, which embodies the engaged piece. And then student services, which involves healthy, safe, and supportive. So you have an electronic version of, I think it's just about 90 pages is our plan for this comprehensive plan. I wasn't going to print it out and waste a lot of trees, but for the public, it will be on display for 28 days. And so this kind of gives you that 30,000-foot view of the process and the plan going forward that we will be implementing for the next 3 years. So does anyone have any questions, any comments about the process, about the plan?
Just a thank you to you and Dr. Schaefer and all the stakeholders.
Thank you
Great
very
job.
much.
Yeah, I just had a question, and either you or Dr. Schaefer or
Mm-hmm.
both could answer. So we were coming off, this is our new plan, but we're coming off a plan that we did 3 years ago.
Well,
Could you talk about how we did on that?
It's interesting because Joanne and I were looking at the old plan and going through this as we're putting the new one together. And it's amazing. We've achieved most of our goals.
Yes. Yeah,
And
and
we
that's,
followed that plan pretty much as a blueprint.
yes,
for what we're doing,
absolutely.
which is
That's
really
the
nice.
beauty of the plan from 3 years ago, that really just about everything was implemented, and those things that weren't implemented, we rolled right into this 3-year plan. Because if something's working and it's going really well for a district, there's no reason to say, well, that was in the old plan, but rather embrace it and bring it into our new plan.
So we pretty much did what we
Yes,
said?
yeah, you can be
And
very
I know one
proud.
of the big components of that was requiring our kids for community service. That was a big component.
And
I
service
think-
learning projects,
And
yes.
that's been a huge success. I mean, you as a board have voted that, made that mandatory for our students. With the oversight of Mrs. Doherty at the high school, our students are very, very involved, especially days like
Yeah.
Historic
And Mr.
Bristol Day.
D'Angelo, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. D'Angelo, that's a really good point, because if you notice in this presentation, that focus area of engaged and engaging the community, so we took that piece from the previous plan and then looked at it in a new, improved way.
Thank you.
Yes, John?
Joanne, what are some of the things that changed from the 3-year-ago plan to this plan?
Probably, I would say, having the involvement of the community that we did and with the AOC and having those community conversations, I think it opened up a lot more avenues to really look at ways that we could even be better than we are.
Okay.
So I would say, and I'll defer to Dr. Schaefer also, but I found that the 3 community conversations and the work that we did with the AOC and just getting that multitude with those slides, those 2 slides with all those organizations that were able to give us input.
Thank you.
and something new, Mr. Rusin, that really wasn't involved with the last one, is mental health issues, which is something that's pervasive throughout all communities. So that's a major piece that we did not have in before.
Oh, okay.
Joan, you just say 28 days it'll be on display?
It'll be on display for 28 days. So it should be in the next few days. We'll have it up on the front page of the Bristol Borough website.
Okay.
It's in the office now, and Paul's going to have it up tomorrow morning.
All right.
So then, starting tomorrow, it'll be up for 28 days, and that's a requirement by the Department of Education so that the community can read it and give any comments
Right.
prior to you approving it on June 20th.
And Mrs. Moyer has a hard copy on her desk right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, I don't know if we have 90, we have 22 sets of 90, but we do, it is about 90 pages of them. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was
Again,
a pleasure.
Joanne and everybody with the AOC, thank you very, very, very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Just a few more things, Mr. President. At your tables, I left some information for you. As you see, the Bristol Borough Education Fund recently awarded $8,800 to our teachers in our district. Since 2008, the foundation has distributed $81,763 to our teachers. That's very impressive. Now, if you want to see more specific details, it is on our website, okay? Just an FYI, Honors Night at Bristol High School is Monday, May 20th at 6:30. Next Friday, the 24th, is Kids Walk at Snyder Girardi and Relay for Life at the high school. And the other thing I have on your desk, this is also on the website. This time of year gets incredibly hectic, as you can see. So I've outlined and listed all the major events, all the promotion programs, memory nights, graduation, senior memory night. You have everything there of what's happening from the end of May to the end of the school year. Okay? And that's it.
Thanks, Dr. Shaver. Okay, public participation. Does anybody want to get up and speak? No? Okay. Routine monthly business.
Mr. Chairman, approve the minutes of the April 25th, 2019 meeting, approve the list of bills for May 2019, approve the treasurer's report for April 2019.
I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item 6 on the new business. Item A, approve the proposed final budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year in the amount of $24,978,780.
Need a second? Oh,
Second.
Need a roll call.
thank you, Mr. Ciccolini. Roll call?
I just want to make a couple quick comments about the budget. Like Mr. D'Angelo said, it's $24,978,780. The budget is balanced. We are using $580,000 for capital projects, which are non-occurring, specifically window replacement at the high school, blacktop repair at the administration building, elementary school blacktop seal coating, and the purchase of $225,000 worth of Chromebooks. Going into next year, every student at Bristol Borough from grades 2 to 12 will have a Chromebook with them at school. There's no millage increase in this budget. It's a 3.52% increase from last year's budget. Some of the revenue savings that we found in this budget, we switched service providers, specifically Therapy Source for occupational therapy, physical therapy, social work, and speech. That saved us $146,000. An increase in state subsidy for special ed and basic ed, that was $190,000. Reduction in tuition costs at the tech school was $18,320. Special education, we returned 2 additional students who were out of the district. We are bringing them back to ours, and that savings was $65,000. Some of the expenditures, the retirement rate increase from 33.43% to 34.29 results in an increase of about $92,000. The hiring of 1 teacher for middle school special education. The teacher contract increase of 0.75% with no step and column movement. Custodial and maintenance contract increase of 2%. Support staff contract increase of 2% for salary and employees over $15 and 4% for everyone below $15. Increase in cyber charter school tuitions about $114,000. Increase in medical rates for 2019-2020 was about $178,000. And then I had mentioned the capital projects that I discussed earlier. And for this budget, we're assuming that we will get no additional money from the state for basic ed or special ed.
All right, good job, Chris. I'm just looking back here. I can't find 2018, but just back in 2016-17, our budget was $23,186,641. So really, the budget has increased in 2 years by
Yeah,
$1
really, it's about
million.
$1 million because of the capital projects.
Right, right,
And that's,
that's in
the
here.
main drivers are there are PSERS,
Right.
special education, medical costs, but I mean, mostly PSERS.
Well, my point is that you've done a great job with that, because even the increase of the $1 million, we're still not raising taxes, and, you know, this is the 5th year in a row, so good
Six.
job. Yeah, 6, this is
Seven.
number 6, 7.
7 years.
We have not
7
raised
years.
taxes since 2011.
How much longer do we have to go with our bond?
2031, I believe.
We could refinance again?
We can refinance Series A part of the bond in 2 years.
All right, thanks,
Did
good
we
job.
get a
That's
second?
if the-
Did we get a second on it? Did we
We
get a
got
second?
Dave. second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I was just curious. I didn't hear who seconded, that's all. I'm sorry.
No, no, I would just agree, Chris and Tom, you guys did a great job, really. A lot of things, the budget is a very dynamic document, and things come and go, and you guys really stepped it up and did a great job. And I think for the public to know that we made a decision to spend, we had some money in the fund balance, primarily, we use that as a capital. We've made some capital improvements to our building. We feel that the buildings are in good shape now, and most importantly now, every kid will have a Chromebook. And that is really big, and I know, Dr. Minetti, that's a good thing for you to start off with. So thanks a lot, Chris. Great job.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Unbelievable.
Are you ready?
Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Adamson, absent. Mr. Parolo.
Yeah.
Mr. Poliafico.
Yes.
Mr. Chicoletti.
Yes.
Ms. Paglione.
Yes.
Mr. Rusin.
Yes.
Mr. Cullen.
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Yes.
And Mr. DeMarcus.
Yes,
Okay. Motion is passed.
thank you.
Okay, item B, approve the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Number 22 Special Education Budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year in the amount of $252,074.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carries.
Item C, approve the attached list of 2019 Bristol High School expected graduates upon successful completion of all academic requirements.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chicoletti.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carries.
Yeah. Item D, approve the appointment of John D'Angelo as Board Treasurer for 2019-2020 fiscal year. PA School Code indicates a Board Treasurer be appointed in May.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Parolo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Under personnel, item A, approve the 5-year contract beginning August 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2024, between the Bristol Borough School District and Dr. Rose Minetti, Superintendent of Schools.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chicoletti. All in favor?
I think that's got to be a roll
Roll
call.
call.
Mr. Parolo.
Yes, 100%.
Mr. Poliafico.
Yes.
Mr. Chicoletti.
Yes.
Ms. Paglione.
Yes.
Mr. Rusin.
Yes.
Mr. Cullen.
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Yes.
And Mr. DeMarcus.
Yes,
Motion is passed.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Item number B, approve the appointment of the following applicants for summer work as needed. Scheduled will be provided by Mr. George Gatto at a rate of $10.25 per hour, no benefits, pending clearance approval. David D'Angelo, Ed Gallagher, Maribel Long Charles, Kathy McCluskey, Michelle McDermott, Peter Musi, Joe Mellon, Deshaun Newkirk, Loretta Rossman, Erica Rusin, Anthony Smith, Betty Soto.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Big Al.
Mr. Parolo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions?
Me.
Motion carries.
I abstain.
Thank you.
Item C, approve the appointment of the following ESY district assistants, $13.72 per hour, no benefits, as per the negotiated contract, effective July 8th through August 1st, 2019. Cara Early, Joe Malone, Deb Colon, Amber Trezise, Elise Valentine, and Jennifer White.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carries.
Item D, approve the appointment of the following ESY teachers at a rate of $35 per hour with no benefits as per the master agreement effective July 8th to August 1, 2019. Teresa Kramer, Haley O'Brocco, Rocco Parolo.
Second. Mr. Cohen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I have
Abstentions?
to abstain, I guess?
Thank you, yes.
Yes.
Passes.
Item E, approve the appointment of the following ESY nurse at a rate of $20.60 per hour, no benefits according to the master agreement, effective July 8th to August 1, 2019. Kizzy Brown.
Second.
Mr. Chicoletti. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Carries.
Item F, approve the appointment of the following supplemental positions for the 2019-2020 school year as per the attached list.
Thanks, Mr. Chicoletti. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Okay, this item G was added to the agenda, and that item will be to approve the advertisement for a full-time music education teacher, K through 12, per the negotiated contract.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cullen.
Dr. Schaefer, you might want to just explain that?
Yes, as we said, we looked at this prior in the year. We weren't quite sure where the budget would end up, but we found that we do have the resources in the budget to do this right now. So we'd like to add that for the end of the year.
Thank you. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Are you representative? Anything tonight? Thank you. Okay, so the next public meeting will be scheduled for June 20th, 2019. We'll go around the horn. Mr. Polyafco?
I just wanted to congratulate Mr. Benetti, doctor. Also welcome Mr. Bradway as our new solicitor. Glad to have you aboard. Good luck.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Good.
Mr. Carollo?
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback off that. Welcome you, and I'd like to thank all the teachers that go and they do all this extra stuff with the kids. You always see it on the websites with the boats and all this stuff, and it's amazing how they engage with the kids. And Kelly, unbelievable job every year. Never have any problems. She takes care of 2 schools, and we, she handles it. Chris, if it wasn't for Chris, we wouldn't have the extra money to put into the schools like we do. So, and Dr. Schaefer, I'm sure I'll see you at the airport. I usually do. I always see him when we go away. He's at the airport most of the time.
Really?
Yes. Thank you for all your service. Jen, you too. for working at Appreciate everything.
Thank
That's it.
Mr. Chicoletti?
Yes, just welcome Dr. Minetti. Special thanks to Gene Williams, my friend Amy McElvain, Joanne, thank you, Gene, and the Grundy Foundation. Mayor Saxon's here for all your work with the comprehensive plan. Really appreciate all your help that you do and your involvement in the community. So thank you. Tell Dr. Hoffman I said hi. That's it.
Right. Mr. D'Angelo?
No, I just know that, Jen, we have a retirement party for Dr. Schaefer. And when is that?
Yes, we do, June 1st.
So on June, it's a Friday?
1st. It's
So-
Saturday.
A Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay, so on the Saturday, June 1st, we're having a retirement party for Dr. Schaefer, and I know that many of us are going to attend, and I just wanted to let the public know that they can reach out to Jen. Is it sold out yet?
Yes, Mr. D'Angelo, it is.
Is it? Okay. Well, then that's good. Well, then that's good. Well, then that's good. Well, like I said, so we'll see everybody there, I hope.
Surprise.
Ms. Pagan?
Surprise!
I'd like to congratulate Dr. Minetti and welcome her to Bristol Borough School District and Mr. Bradley.
Thank you.
And for all the good work that Joanne did with everything we went through with the superintendent search and with the comprehensive plan. Thank you.
Mr. Reason?
I want to echo the same thing that Mary Jane just said. Welcome, Dr. Minetti. Thanking Joanne for what she did, and I'm going to miss you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Mr. Collins?
I don't know if there's anybody else to thank. But congratulations and welcome to the school district.
Kelly, anything? Anything?
No,
Motion.
So again, welcome, congratulations, happy to have you. And also, thank you to Mr. Bradway for being here. Any other comments?
No?
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.